I will start off by saying that I am so grateful that this house has been made available for me. It's a mere 10 minutes walk from the hospice. I've got the whole thing to myself. And for that and it's free. And for that I'm eternally grateful. But at the same time, I shall be so glad to get out of here because of a multitude of reasons. I don't know the people, which makes it uncomfortable for a start. It's not a style of property with which I'm happy. To be frank, it's too grown up and it is ever so slightly pretentious. It's very modern, which doesn't suit me. I'm worried about getting things dirty. It's fitted with an alarm, which I don't like having to use. And I'm just checking, I don't think it's fitted with recording devices, but if it is, it's too late now. It has throughout a smell, sort of air freshener smells, which I find actually quite difficult to take. And it's noisy, not traffic noise or anything like that, but there's noise inside. Upstairs there's something running all the time. I don't know whether it's heating, boiler, water heater, I don't know. Then down here in the kitchen there's so much noise from the fridge, freezer business behind me. Then other things like the electric kettle. You put water in, you turn it on, it boils. Not this one, you have to turn it on, you can select the temperature, the tone when you turn it on, another button to start it working, and a tone when it stops. Why? But it's things like that which are so utterly alien to me. And I don't want to sound ungrateful, because I am. I am really grateful and humbled by the generosity of the owners of this property. But it just has, for me, it doesn't have good energy, which in itself sounds rather stupid and pretentious. But it doesn't feel right. I don't know if you will understand this, you multitude of followers out there. Some places, buildings, houses, feel right and comfortable. Some don't, and some might feel neutral. Now, I don't know why this is, whether it's something that comes from what I'm seeing or associations with the house. I'd like to think it's an energy within the house myself, and there is something negative about the house in which I live, but that's another story. And I think that's distinct from the shite neighbours and the arseholes in the village. It sounds a bit damning, doesn't it? But it doesn't feel good in some ways. Whereas I go to visit a friend and there are things about her house which would be almost instant red flags for me. in that I'm a vegetarian, she's very much a meat eater, and the kitchen always smells of meat, which ought to be a real turn-off. But in fact, that house, it feels good, it feels safe. This doesn't feel safe. At no level does it feel safe. So what I'm doing, what I have arranged, is that I am fleeing this house in, what day is it today? Wednesday. I'm fleeing this house tomorrow, Thursday. I'm returning to a B&B I was staying in previously, which is very far from perfect. From the point of view of comfort, it's not a patch on this, it's a converted garage. It's slightly damp. And this place, I haven't had a good night's sleep. The bed is slightly uncomfortable, but it's just, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I have a water wand. If you know what it is, you know, which is used for stabilising water, I believe. Well, I don't use it for that. It was actually recommended to me by someone who uses it to help her sleep, which is not its purpose. And I find it works. It's a tremendous comfort. I also have found it's useful for minor skin ailments that I have, but that's another separate issue. But I have found it is a great comfort to have it in bed with me. And I do believe it helps me sleep, but it doesn't work here. Other places I've used it, I find myself holding it in the night. If I haven't got it, wake up in the night, I have to find it. But here I lose it. I'm losing it in the night, and I'm not sleeping well. Coincidence, all in the mind, I don't know. Does it matter? But it's another thing that counts against this house. I haven't had a good night. It just doesn't feel right. Now I can't put a finger on it. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's the fabric of the house, the style, the decor, whether it's me, the people who own the house, who I don't know, the basis on which I have occupancy. Whatever it is, I come back to where I started. I'm going to be glad to get out, even if the place I'm going to is far from perfect. It'll be more comfortable than here. So I would like to say to the people who very kindly made this available via my wife to people who would be visiting my dying sister-in-law, who have inadvertently let me into their house, I am really deeply, genuinely grateful to you for making this available. It has been beyond a convenience, the ability to walk 10 minutes to the hospice, or even to detour via the town and get myself breakfast, which again is 10 minutes. It's been wonderful, but I can't live here. And leaving it will be like having a weight lifted from my shoulders. So thank you, Lucy and Paul. I can name you because you're never going to hear this. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for this, but it's not right for me. So I will move on tomorrow. Thank you.